I'd like to now call upon MP Shaun Chen, Member of Parliament for Scarborough North, to deliver remarks on behalf of the Honourable Catherine McKenna, Minister of Infrastructure and Communities.
Hello, everyone. Bonjour tout le monde. Thank you, Carly, for your very kind introduction. I am very happy to be here virtually with all of you on behalf of the Honourable Catherine McKenna, Federal Minister of Infrastructure and Communities, and joined by my friends and colleagues, Minister Mary Ng, and MPs Han Dong, Majid Jahari, Jean Yip, and Salma Zahid, along with the Honourable Doug Ford, Premier of Ontario, and my Scarborough North counterparts, Minister Raymond Cho, MPP, and City Councillor Cynthia Lai. Today, we are pleased to be here with Dr. Ming-Tat Chung, founding chair and member of the Board of Directors of the Chinese Cultural Centre of Greater Toronto, and Mr. Alan Lam, chairman of the Board of Directors for the CCC, and Angela Chan, president of CCC. Thank you all for participating in today's announcement. I would like to take a moment to acknowledge that this project we're announcing today is on the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. Since last March, Canadians have been impacted by the consequences of the COVID-19 pandemic. From coast to coast to coast, we have been learning to cope with the new realities and new world that we find ourselves in. This has not been an easy time for many, but even as the situation continues to evolve, all orders of government across Canada are working together to reduce the impact of the pandemic, to protect lives, to support communities, and to create jobs. It is time to start looking forward again. It's time to build up and to do it in a way that makes our communities more livable, more resilient, and more sustainable places to live, work, and raise our families. That is why I am incredibly pleased to join the Ontario government to announce federal support for upgrades and expansions to the Chinese Cultural Centre of Greater Toronto. Investing in community, culture, and recreation infrastructure is an essential part of growing our economy and providing communities and Canadians with more options to connect, express themselves, and support one another. Today, I am very proud to announce that the Government of Canada is providing more than $2.8 million to support the upgrades and expansions to the Chinese Cultural Centre. The work will involve increasing service space and expanding the capacity and accessibility of the center's outdoor and indoor program and activity spaces. The project will improve the comfort and accessibility of the center's recreation, culture, and community spaces for people with various barriers to social participation, thus enhancing its position as an inclusive facility that supports cross-cultural interaction. By investing in projects like the one announced today, we are supporting the creation of more accessible and welcoming community and cultural spaces. We are bringing Canadians together to learn and to explore while also creating jobs and building our local economy. I want to give thanks to the CCC for their incredible vision, the vision that they have brought to life over the many decades preceding. Their work to connect communities and not just be a centerpiece of our vibrant, dynamic, and diverse Scarborough North community, but to also connect with other communities and provide an important space for intercultural learning and sharing. It is truly in the spirit of Scarborough North and in the spirit of our great country. Partnerships are key to supporting communities across the country, and that is why our government is working closely with provinces, municipalities, and stakeholders to get projects quickly built. Today's announcement is another great example of how working together with our partners across the country can make a positive difference in the lives of so many. The Government of Canada is working closely with municipalities, provinces, other partners and stakeholders to get projects built, projects that make a positive difference in the lives of Canadians in these very trying times. And the good news, the really good news, is that investing in infrastructure also creates jobs, it supports local economies, and this is at a time when our country needs it the most. So it is an investment for today and for tomorrow. Great nations build great things. Today, we are nation building for the 21st century and the Canada of many more millions of people and counting. By investing in community and cultural infrastructure today, we are putting down a down payment on more connected and resilient communities where Canadians can live, grow, and raise their families for generations to come. Together, we will improve the livelihood of all Canadians. Thank you. Merci.
Thank you so much, MP Chen. And now I'd like to welcome the Honorable Doug Ford, Premier of Ontario. Premier? I think someone needs to, there, let's see if that worked.
There we go. Sorry about that. That's great. Well, Carly, first of all, thank you, and MP Chen, thank you for those great words. And let me first of all thank Alan Lam and the Chinese Cultural Center for the incredible work they do for the community in Scarborough and beyond Scarborough as well. This includes, as we know, of all of Ontario, all of Canada stepped up, but especially the Chinese community and the Cultural Center. They donated over $230,000 through the great donations of purchasing the masks. And we all remember we were all desperate for masks a little while ago. And again, I want to thank them for the $230,000 donation to the long-term care homes and senior homes. And folks, I know the Chinese Cultural Center will continue to give back to the community for years to come. I visited many times, and what a great center it is, but we're going to enhance that center. Our government is investing in communities and organizations like yours that make a difference. I call this grassroots. And I'm proud that today Ontario is investing more than $2.3 million to support improvements at the Chinese Cultural Center. That investment will help upgrade the theater, expand and remodel activity spaces, and build a beautiful Asian garden for the community to enjoy. Together with our federal partners, we are building a stronger, healthier communities right across Ontario. I also want to make it clear that I stand with Ontario's Chinese community, who've contributed so much to our province. And I really appreciate that they stepped up throughout this pandemic, as I mentioned earlier before, to help their fellow Ontarians. But we've seen recently a disturbing rise in anti-Asian sentiment. And I can tell you, I have zero tolerance for this. No matter what race, creed, color you come from, it's unacceptable here in Ontario and right across Canada. And I know I stand united with our municipal partners, our federal partners, and all provincial partners. It doesn't matter what political stripe you come from. Hate and racism has no place here in Ontario because we're stronger together. We will always stand shoulder to shoulder in support of the Chinese community. And I just want to mention, I mention it a lot when I speak to the Chinese community. I want to thank you personally for your support. I want to thank you for supporting our family and many years. And we're very grateful. I'll always have your back.